Narinder Kaur has posted a comment on X, formerly called Twitter, saying this, and I quote, "Sorry, I genuinely can't understand a man who will go across the world to meet Trump, who slugged off our armed forces and cannot even go see his son and the grandkids. How many years has it been since King Charles has seen Archie and Lilibet?" Brian, what do you think about this post made by Narinder Kaur?
What can I say, Winnie? First of all, thank you for having me here. And please, if you're watching, subscribe
Yes.
to support our ever great community on YouTube and, of course, help us keep on growing. Kindly, so please subscribe first of all.
Yeah.
So, Winnie, I like Narinder Kaur. I must admit that I like her because she's someone who's been vocal also in a support of Harry and Meghan, and I'm always thankful to see someone who is influential or prominent in the media, at least be like a voice of reason. You know, from what we've seen, we really need people like, you know, Narinder Kaur, who are very, very good. So I want to say thank you to her for also her kind words towards Harry and Meghan, for always defending Harry and Meghan. So to answer your question, or to answer Narinder Kaur's, what she has said basically and posted on X, formerly called Twitter, how many years has it been since Charles has seen Archie and Lilibet? You know, what I can say is that I don't think it's fair to even try and force a relationship between Charles and his grandkids. I don't think it's fair or right.
It's not.
I feel like something has to come out naturally. You know, not try to force it. Yes, it's embarrassing for Charles, you know, as a grandfather, as king, not to even see his grandkids, Archie and Lilibet. It's his fault. It's his shame to carry. You know, it is not, of course, Harry and Meghan's fault. It is Charles' fault. And it is he who is to blame for not being there for Archie and Lilibet. So it's his fault. You can't blame Harry and Meghan because of the actions of King Charles, because he's someone who has shown time and time again how he couldn't care less about Archie, how he couldn't care less about Lilibet. Charles has shown us that. And I've always said that it's his mistake. He's the one who is missing out on having a good, positive relationship with, of course, his grandkids. He's not missing out. Archie and Lilibet are not missing out on anything. You know why? Because they have their parents. You know, children tend to look, of course, at their parents, like they have like the dad or mom and everything, right? And that's what Archie and Lilibet have, and that's what I say honestly that they need. You know, having that, you know, an amazing mom who loves them, an amazing father who loves them, an amazing grandmother who's present, who's there, you know, in their lives. I'm happy that they have that already. Charles, on the other hand, is a failure. He's a failure at being, you know, a father to Prince Harry. He's a failure at being a grandfather to Archie and Lilibet. That's his failures to carry himself. It's a bad look on him. But I feel like it is, you know, my point is, it's wrong to try and force a, you know, relationship between Charles and his grandkids, because I feel like even if you force it and it happens, it won't be something genuine.
You know? I agree.
It has to come out, you know, that love has to come out naturally. If it doesn't exist, you can't force it. You can't force it. You just cannot. So it's been years ever since, you know, Charles even saw Archie and I'm not even sure if he saw Lilibet. UK media keep saying that, oh, you know what, he did see them once. I'm not sure even, but that's Charles. That's his failures, right? And what I can say is that Archie and Lilibet already have everything. And yes, Charles going to see, you know, Trump, a man who slugged off the armed forces and not see his son and grandkids. It's his failures. It's his failures to carry, not Harry and Meghan. That's what I can say, basically. Maybe you have a different opinion.
I don't have a different opinion. But I think the first thing that King Charles should actually do, what the UK media made the way Prince Harry like the way he relocated, one of the things that King Charles should ensure so that they can have maybe a good rapport is at least let there be security for his son. Let Harry feel safe around home, around his country, around the environment.
In the US even, Charles can make that happen.
Yes.
But the problem is he just doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to. That's a strong one. He doesn't want to.
That's the problem,
yes. And I also saw a comment in response to what she said, where a derringer claims that Prince Harry can take his kids to meet their grandfather. Why are they passing the buck onto Prince Harry and not to King Charles?
And that's a strong question. That's a strong question. But I feel like I can answer this by saying this. From Harry and Meghan, I've always maintained that much is always expected from Harry and Meghan. When it comes to Charles, William, Camilla, Kate Middleton, UK media, even the Rangers expect really nothing really. The standards are so low. For example, William and Kate Middleton can go on vacations every single week.
Every single time.
No problem. Yeah. Harry and Meghan, if they're not seeing them for 2 days, already media is asking, where are they? And Harry and Meghan today can sign a deal with Netflix. Tomorrow, Daily Mail will want, a project. Tell me what you're working on. Give me something to talk about. But Kate Middleton can be promoting her so-called early years project stuff, whatever she's working on, for the past 10 years, and whereby you don't even see impact, you don't see anything, no problem, no issue. But Harry and Meghan, they want results the next day, because much is always expected from Harry and Meghan, but nothing really is expected, from William, Kate, Camilla, Charles. I feel like that is what I can see with my own 2 eyes. So the Rangers are passing the buck onto Prince Harry and telling him, you take your kids to go and see Charles. Yet they know very well that without security, there's no way Prince Harry can take his kids from America to the UK. No way. Mostly because of what the UK media have done all these years, whereby they've been waging a smear campaign targeting Harry and Meghan and everyone in Harry and Meghan's circle. So there's no way Prince Harry even wants to take his kids to a place whereby he knows is unsafe for them. Harry doesn't want that. We don't want that ourselves as fans of Harry and Meghan. We want Archie, Lilibet, Harry and Meghan to feel safe and to be safe wherever they go. Because they deserve to be at peace. They deserve to be happy wherever they go. They deserve to live the best lives ever. It is shameful really that Charles and William have made Harry and Meghan, have the security scares, security issues, even Harry going to court. It shames Charles because which country, Winnie, when you think about whereby the son of the head of state or daughter of the head of state doesn't have security? No, which country? Which country? No. The only place they can think of is the UK.
Now we can
just one. Only in Britain is the son of the king told you don't have security. Or only you don't have a right to it, that is. Only in the UK. And that's shameful. That's very, very shameful. And shows you the unfair treatment that Prince Harry been put through by the farm and UK media. Even the Rangers know very well. Harry will not take his wife and kids to a place that he knows is unsafe, especially without security. There's no way it happens. But they're passing this on to Prince Harry because to cover for Charles' failures as a father. This is another effort at covering for Charles because the failure as a father and grandfather, because they're trying to cover for him and saying, it's Harry. Why can't he take the kids over there? Because even they know it's a bad look on Charles. It's a bad look on Charles. That, listen, he's in America, but he won't go and see, of course, Archie and Lilibet because he's a failure as a grandfather. That's just it.
Still, Narinder Kaur says that Harry being free from the shackles of the farm didn't mean that he is free from the love of his father. What did she really mean by this statement? It's a very...
Can you repeat that, please?
She says, Harry being free from the shackles of the farm didn't mean he is free from the love of his father.
I understand now. So here's what she means. Yes, Harry stepped back as a senior member of the royal family. Yes, Harry, did every single thing that he did to flee the UK to protect his wife and son. But, Harry, of course, is someone who's a son who, of course, loves his father. There's no shame in saying that. There's no shame. He loves his father despite his failures, right? Despite Charles' failures. And I understand that. But the problem is, Charles doesn't show that. You know, once upon a time, Charles was asked by a reporter when he and Diana got engaged about, whether, he and Diana were in love. Charles said that, whatever love is, whatever love means. So this is someone who clearly showing he doesn't really know what true love really is. Yeah. True love is caring about somebody. True love is protecting someone that you love, those you love. Has Charles shown that? No. The answer is no. He's someone who's taken away security from his own son. At a time when Harry was vulnerable. That is not someone who knows what love is. Because if you love someone, you would never ever do that. Even if you have an argument, even if you have an issue with your brother or your sister or someone that you love, you don't endanger them like what Charles has done to Prince Harry. Because arguments can happen between father and son, or son and father, or even son and mother and son or daughter. It happens. Yeah, it does. But you don't put the one you love in danger. True. Sadly, that is what Charles done to Prince Harry. So Narinder is saying that basically, Harry never thought that, of course, with love, you as a son, you expect your father to love you, to care for you, because Harry does care for Charles. Even when you read Spare, I don't even know why you read the thing that Harry attacked Charles in Spare. He didn't. He was kind to him. He was understanding to Charles. When you read Spare, if you read it, you understand that if there is someone who Harry was even lenient to, or lenient with, was the father. And despite that, Charles has shown his disdain. He's even he hasn't shown love to his son. He took away Harry and Meghan's only UK home. That's not someone who shows you that they love you. They love you. That's not what love is. Love is kind. Love is caring for someone. Love doesn't envy. But look at Charles. He's someone who is full of envy towards his own son, towards his own daughter-in-law, for goodness sake. Even your own grandkids, you're jealous of them. That he put his coronation on the same day as Archie's birthday. That's not someone who is behaving like a normal person, or someone who knows what love is. While Camilla has the love of her kids and grandkids, Charles doesn't have that. And I feel like I've always said that one day Charles is the one who's gonna come and regret not being in Harry's life, not being in Harry's life, not being in Archie and Lilibet's lives. And I feel like that will be the day that he himself will regret it completely, and there'll be no one around him to be there. That's what they will regret. Yeah. And even as we end our joint segment, our last question is the fact that King Charles is in America. Can he actually go meet Archie and Lilibet? No, he won't. It's simple. No, he won't. Not that he can't. Of course he can't. Yeah. Of course he can go that is. He can. Yeah. He has the power to do that. The power. He can go that. Whether privately, secretly, he can do that. He can do that. The issue is that he just doesn't want to. He just because he has shown that he doesn't really care about his son or grandkids. And as I've said, there's no benefit of trying to force that love between father and son, or father and grandfather and grandkids. It can't really work. It has to come naturally. You can't force it. And Charles has shown that doesn't really care. But thankfully, Archie and Lilibet have a father and mother who do care. They have a grandmother, Doria, who does care. And I feel like that's all they need, honestly. And that's enough. That's enough. That's more than enough. So Charles can go to see Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet. He can even have them come over to see him in Washington if he wants. But he doesn't want that, because he's jealous of being overshadowed, all of that stuff. And doesn't really know what love is. Yeah. And it's shameful, but it's true. It's true, yeah. Thank you so much, Brian. And he always gives us a lot of quotes, and today I will drop my own quote. If they want, they will. So if King Charles really wants to say Archie and Lilibet, he will. But if he doesn't, he won't. And that's the end of the story. So thank you so much, Brian. And please, before we end, please subscribe and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. It will really, really mean so much to me. And even for the ones who have subscribed, thank you so much. And let's keep this community growing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, please like, subscribe, share, and support our Ever community on YouTube. Thank you, of course, and goodbye, and see you later. Bye. Love you always and forever. And subscribe, please. Subscribe. Please, and join Winnie Gossip's YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Winnie, thank you very, very much. And thank you for the wonderful, kind words you even say in the comment section towards us, in support of us. Thank you for even your concerns. We've seen them. Thank you for everything. And I promise that, of course, you're going to keep on doing the amazing work that we've been doing with your support. Thank you so much. And of course, goodbye. Bye.